Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Julie and I'll be talking about politics, especially South African politics.
Oh, hi Julie, pleased to meet you. My name is Klipkop and I engage with people talking about politics, especially South African politics. I also publish videos with a 16:9 aspect ratio, so I don't sit with this shit. So, what will we be engaging on today?
How land expropriation would work.
Goody! And which Marxist propaganda will you use to vilify white people today?
A really brilliant article written by a guy called Tembeka Ngukaitobi.
Ah yes, I've heard about this guy. He is the author of The Land is Ours and the EFF's lawyer. So, what is your issue with white people on the expropriation debate?
Often you'll hear from right-wingers that, oh, the state wants to take all white people's land. It's such a gross exaggeration.
Go. You are referring to the arguments of people that are against the state expropriating and taking custodianship of all the land, which is one of the cardinal pillars of the EFF, the party that is spearheading the expropriation without compensation debate. So, this is a blatant straw man. The ANC has been quiet on their views of how expropriation without compensation will work, except for them saying that black traditional land will not be expropriated. Pardon my privilege, but it seems kind of racist when we have certain rules for certain demographics and other rules for other demographics. But please, educate me on how this will work.
Okay, what he's trying to say with this article is that there are two ways to move forward on this issue. The first way is to leave the Constitution and the laws as they are already.
Here I can agree with you. Section 25 already enables the state to expropriate land, even for redress, as that would fall under public interest.
And the second way is to actually introduce legislation, just introducing nationwide legislation that would push this issue forward a little bit harder.
There is absolutely nothing standing in the way of national government passing legislation to allow for expropriation to take place. My theory, the theory of the so-called right-wingers, and the theory of a lot of black people, is that the whole show is to garner for votes before the 2019 elections, with the added bonus that they will be able to steal land as a cherry on top, just like they did in Zim. But because they saw the international outcry with Zim, they want to first legalize this land theft before doing so.
The problem with Zim is that they waited too long to do just and equitable land reform. So Mugabe didn't do anything. That is the problem. And so what happened is that other people took the land issue into their own hands. And that's why there was violent land seizures in Zim. And that's why there was chaos after that. And that's why their economy tanked. So please, if you don't want a Zim situation, all right, and I don't want a Zim situation, then for the love of God, get on board with the land issue. Get on board urgently.
The problem with Zim is that Mugabe allowed and incited gangs of thugs to go grab white people's land. Show me the people who are not on board with this land issue. Yes, we have widespread poverty and landlessness, but why do you think white people are not on board, as you say?
The state has really run into a lot of problems with people who refuse to give up their land, even for a really, really high price. They had faith that white people would come to the party with this issue.
Get on board with
The Constitution already provides for this scenario. A just and equitable compensation can be determined by the court. My big problem is that the Department of Land Reform already owns 20 million hectares of land. And this land is not in the desert like in the Northern Cape. This land is mostly highly arable farmland. It also includes land in the suburban areas. The 20 million figure does not even include the land owned by local municipal governments or land under traditional leaders. The government fat cats are sitting with a solution to the landlessness in their pockets, but they choose to make white people the scapegoats. Very similar to the rhetoric we saw in Zim before things went balls up. What land do you want the state to go and expropriate?
Its focus for expropriation without compensation appears to be vacant, unused, and underutilized state land. So in other words, the state is going to take its own land and give it to people that need it. I don't know how anyone can be against that.
Yay! The state is going to make it rain land. Not a chance in hell. They haven't done so with the land they currently own. Why will they do so now?
And lastly, hopelessly indebted land. Okay, so if you are either black or white or whatever race, it doesn't matter. If you have hopelessly indebted land, the state is doing you a favor by taking that away.
Why do I have to explain this? It is expropriation without compensation. The loans will not magically disappear. The people will still be liable to repay those loans. Either that or the state will be stealing from the banks. Either way, this is theft. This sounds like a recipe for international sanctions, maybe even justification for military action against us.
I hope this has been informative, and I hope that it's helped you learn something about land expropriation in South Africa. Please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel.
Yes,